Howdy, everyone. Matt here. I got a question for you. How do you think we should handle these healthcare charlatans that are out there on social media? Let's talk about it. Welcome, everybody, and let me introduce myself. My name is Matt. I am Matt the PT, coming at you with another video on another topic of something in the physical therapy world. And this one is about those healthcare charlatans. So if I look up on Google what a charlatan is, in case you don't know what it is a person falsely claiming to have special knowledge or skill of fraud. Now, you probably see these people online, like in the fitness community. I see a lot of them there. And I've had some interesting interactions with them over time. And you're probably pulling some right now to your brain and going, yeah, I know that one over there. You know, like farting patterns or whatever that one was called. They're a funny one to mess with. But anyway, this came about because recently a person on social media reshared one of my, well, I'm not even going to say reshared it. They took a screenshot of a reshare of one of my memes and went on this tirade about how physical therapy isn't that good, but just based off of this meme. Now, if you know me, I got started on social media creating memes, just funny little situations, funny pictures, because I want it to be entertaining. And I'll give you that background. I just want it to entertain. And that's ultimately my goal. I create this information to be entertaining, to be funny, to make somebody smile, to make somebody laugh. And then I'm trying to do this stuff to just, encourage discussion and, just get us talking and bringing us together. And that's ultimately why I do all of this. And I tell people that the memes that I create are just a very small snapshot of an interaction with a patient. They're just this little moment that you take and that you do a little something to it and you make it entertaining. And I don't ever want to be mean to anyone, to patients or whatnot. If anything, I think I'm more, self-deprecating to myself or maybe to us as therapists. And we shouldn't make fun of patients. And I don't try to do that. I don't try to make fun of patients, but I, make fun of us and just to be funny, but not in a mean way. And these things got reshared. Now, the meme, I'll share it right here, is, you see, it is a lady holding a piece of paper, and it's saying all the excuses that a patient has that why they couldn't do their exercises. Now, this came about because if you're anything like me, I've been practicing 15 years now. I have seen tens of thousands of people and hundreds of thousands of interactions and hours of working with people. And that has been a situation that has arose. That, hey, did you ever do your exercises at home? And the patient tells you, no, I wasn't able to do it because of, and sometimes it's like, okay, that's legitimate. And sometimes it's like, really? Now I will say I've talked to other therapists and they've said, yes, I've run into that same thing. I've talked to trainers and they say, yes, I have clients that come back and it's like, did you follow your diet plan over the weekend? They're like, no, because of this. I've talked with nurses and physicians and chiropractors, just all that they have plans for patients to do or persons to do this and they didn't do it. And then there's just an excuse. An excuse can be valid or it cannot be. And it runs whatever. And so you put that out there and just let it go. And so this person took it and went on this 2 or 3 minute tirade about how that is not good, that it's poor if your patients come up with these excuses and that you should just be the best around. And that's what you won't have this happen. And I've had these people that get all bent out of shape about this stuff. Now, one, I'm going to say I did not engage with this person because if I do, it's just going to keep fueling a fire that's not going to go anywhere. If we engage, both of us are just going to end up mad and angry, and it's not going to solve anything. And that's really the point of this video, is to talk about how do we deal with this. And so I want you to think about that and comment it, how you best think we can do that in a productive way. But I had found this person actually stopping. There was a little bit of a history that they were popping up on my like recommended for a while. They were popping up on there, and I'm like, who is this person? Who are they? And come to find out, it's in Australia that says they treat spinal cord injuries. Well, I'm not a neuro PT. I don't work in neuro. So I look it up, who is this? Well, they're not a physio, they're not a chiropractor, not an occupational therapist, they're not an athletic trainer, they're not a fitness trainer, they're not a physician, they're not an osteopath, a nurse, nothing. It's just some random guy who says he treats spinal cord injuries. And noticing that he was taking clips of things that PTs or somebody in rehab were saying, and then going on these long tirades. And he was never engaging with anybody, the original creators. He didn't engage with me, even though you can see my handle in there. He didn't tag me or anything. I would have never known of this if it didn't pop up. But he never engaged with me, never said anything or talked to me about it. But he just went on this, and there's people commenting. Now, I did look him up, and people said, like, he is a strange person overall. So I would suggest if any of y'all ever see it, just don't engage whatsoever, because he's not worth the time to do it, because he's like, people have reached out to say, hey, I'm interested in, with what you do. Can you give me some help on this? And he just berates them. Other therapists have said, hey, I'm kind of curious about your method. He just goes off on them for just no reason whatsoever. So he's kind of a strange guy. And I've noticed too, I started looking up, and he's just buying a bunch of followers and stuff like that. So anyway, it's not worth the time to really do it. But it got me thinking about how to really do this, because these people put us in such a poor position. I don't want to say bad, maybe a poor position. Because, and this has been a talk that people have had, that like our license restricts us so much. We go through school, we go through our licensing to keep a license and to be able to practice a certain way. And we have to follow certain rules, laws, regulations to practice. And I understand that that's there for the safety of the public. We can't say or we can't do certain things because this may fall outside of our scope of practice, our scope of knowledge, that we need to do this. So it's for the safety of the public, good or bad, however that you look at it. But people like a charlatan, like this person, they're not licensed. They don't fall under anything. So they can really say or do whatever they want. And I've seen it with people that they use that against us to say, oh, see, physios, they can't do all this. I can. Well, there's rules and laws and stuff that allow us to do certain things. And I've also noticed that what they will do sometimes is they'll make these comments. And I think this is one of the most interesting and funny things. They'll make comments to say, like, oh, this person went to the best hospital in the country for this, and they were told they can't do any of this, but look, they're working with me, and now what they got. Or this guy, when I look back through his stuff, was working with some doctors of physical therapy, and they couldn't do this, but look at this, after a week, he's doing this. Here's the thing, and nobody wants to pay attention to it. Nobody's going to verify if what he claims is true or not. Because is anyone going to reach out to that person and confirm that they were told that or what that happens? Is anyone going to go a step further and go find their physicians or their physios or their whomever that they worked with and say, hey, what happened with this person? Even if you found them, they can't share it. That's the patient's private health information. You can't give that up at all. You can't share that. That's private. You would be in a world of trouble sharing a patient's information, unless they gave you permission to do that. But honestly, nobody's going to go and verify that. And heck, I would bet even if you did verify it, nobody would believe you, unfortunately. So So for me, it was not even worth engaging on this. But it seems like these people, especially now with a lot of stuff going on in society, that this is picking up more and more momentum. That these charlatans will say a little grain of truth. Let me tell you this one little thing, and then build upon it. But because the public hears that first little thing that is true, or maybe sounds true, Well, then the rest of it sounds true. Well, then they got to say the truth because but unfortunately, no one ever digs in to really, really find that it's any deeper than that. And so, but before we go any further, just remind you, if you enjoyed the video so far, hit the thumbs up button down there below. But I want to propose this to you. How do we go about dealing with this? And how do we do it in a more productive manner? Because, again, this turns into a situation that can be really squirrely, that can be really difficult to deal with. Because these people are already putting us into, they're kind of backing us into a corner. They're making us already look like the bad guy. The physios can't do this. They can't do that. You can't do all this stuff. So they're backing it up. And if we respond with anger or any of that, really what's that do? It makes us look the same. It makes it look like, well, see, they're getting upset because I exposed them. They're good. And I've noticed that with other people. I don't try to deal with these people because it's, again, not worth time. But when people have even just tried to get that, they start trying to amp it up and rile up the physio or physician, whomever, try to rile them up so then they can make them look bad. And I think a really big thing that we need to do is to be just open to whomever these people are and to say, all right, that's what you do. I would love to talk with you. I would really, and I'm very big about transparency, but hey, interested, let's talk. Can you share this with me? And just being open about it. Just to say, hey, no, okay, I'm really curious about this. You say that you have all these amazing treatment things. I would like to learn it to better help people. It's going to help you. It's going to, that's what I see is funny with some of these things. It's like, oh, wow, you have this amazing treatment method or whatever that you're keeping hid. Why won't you want to build a business or something with others to build that up? Then it will end up, making you more money and just bringing about a whole lot of good for society, but they never do. That's another thing. They never want to do any of that. They never actually want to have anything that shares it with other people in a meaningful way. But it's saying, hey, let's talk. I would be happy to do that. Now, I could tell this person, the one that dealt with mine, didn't want to. They didn't tag me in any of it, and they've shown over, like I said, what I found, that they are very brash to whomever tries to reach out to talk to them. But to me, I think that's probably the best way to combat it is to say, hey, I would like to have a discussion. Have something like this where we come, and I've seen a few people that do that. They said, hey, I disagree with you. Let's have I don't want to say a debate, because debates, again, you just turn these big arguments, but it's like, hey, let's go on something like this and let's have a conversation. Let me understand where you're coming from, and I would like if you understand from where I'm coming from. And I think that is productive, and people can come to their own decisions and stuff. Seeing that, don't let emotions get into it, because, again, nothing comes out if everyone starts getting really emotional and upset and angry, because then, that's the thing. When somebody starts getting really upset and angry, it's like they lost on it. And it's honestly, because then they start looking bad, because then it's like, oh, no, I'm just going to keep irritating you and keep you going just to keep you riled up. And I know it's just going to keep making me look better because you got so upset. So let me know what you think about that. What do you think is the best strategy for dealing with it? Have you run into it? Or is it just saying, hey, we go to the public? Do we just go straight to the public and say, hey, these are ways to recognize when something is truthful? This is when you recognize that stuff are manipulative. This is what it is. And if you ever have questions, talk to me. Come talk to me. I will gladly answer any of it. And I do tell that to many of my friends and family. It's like, I'm happy to talk to you about any of that stuff that you ever see, and I will tell you if it's dumb or not. But what do you think it is? Share that down in the comments below. And, of course, if you enjoy the video, hit that thumbs up button. And please consider subscribing to the channel. It doesn't cost you a copay or anything like that, and it helps out so much. And with all of that being said, like always, take care of yourself. Take care of your patients. I'll see you next time.